Welcome, everybody. This is the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Brand new season.
Yeah, I can't believe football season is here already.
I know. This is our 9th season doing this. I'm Doug Weischadle. Dave Weischadle here with me. As always, we're here with our Pro Football Show, and like we do every single year, we actually do a whole bunch of picks every week, and we also do some, do some analysis. I guess that's what you can call it. We discuss things.
we have to explain why we're picking, and we have to explain where we went off the rails,
and also the week before results and everything else.
That's where we usually go off the rails.
Yes.
That's why we explain what we did.
Yes.
Yep.
And as always, when we do this show, press releases, viewer and listener submissions, viewer and listeners' thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Info at turnpikesportsradio.com. We love hearing everybody's discussions about the NFL. If you disagree with anything we say, let us know. If you have something to add.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always,
we get
always.
all the emails saying what people are picking and what people think will happen, which is really great. So,
or even you saw something during the week's games that you want to point out.
Yeah.
Always great hearing people's thoughts about their teams and what they feel is going on with everything. And as always, when we do this show, like we do with all our other shows, there's going to be a corresponding blog post on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button, and you'll be taken there. You can actually comment there. You can leave your thoughts wherever you want. Info at turnpikesportsradio.com or on the blog.
Yeah, you usually use our notes for the blog, so all of a sudden now I have to edit what I'm saying. I don't I don't shorten words. Usually I just read them off, and these are my notes for me to speak on air, but then you take them and put them on the blog, so I have to be careful, especially with spelling. I'm the world's worst speller, so.
And as you can tell, we really don't have anything to talk about. This is week 1 of the NFL. I have to admit, I don't learn anything from preseason. Normally, I will say this. I did learn one thing this preseason with regard to my team, the Jets.
Okay.
When I saw Justin Fields play with the starters in that one game that they played everybody together, that offense looked a little bit more competent than I've seen over the last 5-6 years. I still don't know how many wins we're going to get. I still don't see really that much improvement because you can't tell anything in preseason. I don't want to hear Giants fans out there. We went 3-0 in preseason.
That's so stupid.
Don't hang your hat on that.
Look, I'm an Eagles fan. I don't even know how the Eagles did in preseason.
No.
I watched some of the games. I looked at it, see how they were. I looked at the depth. If God forbid one of my starters gets hurt, I have to see if someone can fill in competently. So other than that, I don't look at records. And to be honest, we live around a lot of Giants fans. I haven't heard anyone say we went 3-0. So I know New York media is saying that and stuff like that.
Every Giants reporter out there is so happy to see 3. I still don't know if they have an upgrade at quarterback. You can say Russell Wilson all day, live long day. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know how he's going to play in that offense. So, saying they're an upgrade at quarterback, you don't know. But, in regards to preseason, league had their best year since 2018 for preseason.
You mean ratings-wise?
Ratings-wise. 2.2 million viewers per game.
Wow, okay.
Across all linear and digital platforms, that's up 17% from last year. Best mark since 2018. That Pro Football Hall of Fame game. 6.9 million viewers watched it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's such a great event, though. I mean, not only the game, but everything around the game. So that's always a great event. But no, I wonder if there used to be 4 preseason games. Now there are 3. I wonder if cutting down one of those preseason games has increased the ratings for the other. You only get 3 chances to watch football in August, so maybe that was it.
You mean the more condensed feeling?
Yeah, kind of.
Really
if you want to see your team, you better check them out this game or whatever.
Well, I'm curious to see what's happening during the season here. We got a lot of notes from a lot of different places in terms of some of the changes we're going to be seeing in the broadcast. We're not going to see the chain gang anymore, by the way.
Which sucks. I love the chain gang because that part of the game, when they start running out with the markers, that added so much suspense to it. I think the game is losing something when you lose that suspense. When it's 4th and inches and let's see if they made it and this is the game here, and so when they run out it's so suspenseful. It's great. It's great drama, And I hate the fact that football is losing that.
Well, for the reason the NFL is putting in the Hawkeye technology is what they call the first down marker, the thing that's replacing a chain gang. It's called Sony's Hawkeye technology.
Yeah,
you got 6 8K cameras designed just to focus on spotting the ball.
Yeah, no, I saw a little bit of that in the preseason. That's what the preseason is for.
Tech.
The last year was the new kickoff rules. This one, it's tech, the chain gang stuff. So yeah, no, that was the main thrust of preseason football for me.
Yeah, they're saying 6 8K cameras across 30 NFL stadiums. What are the ones that don't have it? I mean, there's 30 NFL stadiums. That's it. I thought they had 32 teams.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
What two stadiums don't get the Hawkeye technology? But anyway, they're saying the Hawkeye technology cuts 40 seconds off each broadcast.
Well, you got to remember, we live in a state where 2 teams play in one stadium.
That's true.
Okay,
That's
so
don't. Is there another state that has 2 teams in it?
I don't know. It's something I haven't thought about.
I didn't think about that until you just said that.
We're sitting in the state that has one stadium for 2 teams.
Yes.
So
and overall, 32 cameras are going to be installed. They're all going to be 4K in addition to the Hawkeye technology.
4K or 8K? You said it was 8K.
Hawkeye is 8K.
Hawkeye's 8K.
But the NFL is putting in 32 additional cameras that are going to be all 4K.
Wow.
The 8K is for the data points and everything else for spotting the ball.
I have 2 4K cameras. They're camcorders.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's a different 4K than my 4K. So I want to be fascinated to see how they use these cameras and things like that. I saw a little bit of it in the preseason, but we really haven't taken a really good long look at it. So I'm excited for it.
And Sony's not done with the NFL. They've got brand new coaches' sideline headsets for coach-to-coach communications.
Wow. Okay. What do? You switch a lever to talk to a coach and switch a lever to talk to the quarterback?
Yeah.
Someone's going to screw
or whoever's wearing the green dot, because they also have one on defense.
See, that's what preseason is for the coaches, to evaluate, your depth of your team, and also this new technology you have to try out and see how it works.
And last but not least, before we forget about the sports bettors listening in and watching us, American Gaming Association, like they do every year, put out their estimated wagering statistics for the upcoming NFL season.
I'm sure it's going to be huge.
$30 billion.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's an 8.5% increase from last year's 27.6% billion they were estimating was going to be done on the 2024
when you say
season.
Billion, that's dollars.
$30 billion wagered.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And I like the fact they did over last season's revised estimated, because what they do after the first couple of weeks, they revise this number.
Oh, yeah, well, sure.
They have to.
Sure, absolutely. So,
but
it's only an estimate. That's why they call it an estimate.
But here we are. Week 1 of the NFL.
The toughest week for me, by the way, to even
this
handicap.
This is going to be tough. There's lots of old names, new places, new names in other places. So
it's just you just don't know the teams yet, and let's be honest, some of the teams don't know themselves yet. They don't know what they can do. They haven't. In game time situation, they didn't use their entire playbook. So we'll see how this goes. So, but Week 1 and the last week of the season is always tough. Week 1 because I just don't know the teams inside and out. The last week is because the teams that are in the playoffs usually sit their starters, so that's a tough week to do. So
we're going to be right back with our Week 1 picks, like we always do, 3 games each, and we'll go through the rules when we come back on the other side of the break.
Smoked cocktails have never been easier to make, thanks to our Halo Drink Smoker. Simply place a cocktail smoker on your glass, light the wood chips until they start to smoke, and then top it off with the lid to infuse your drink with a delicious, new, smoky flavor.
Hey, Dave Weischadle from Turnpike Sports. I just got my dugout mug delivered and I am loving it. Dugout mugs are mugs made out of baseball bats, and they are officially licensed by Major League Baseball, so you can get your favorite baseball team's logo on your mug. Just think of it, enjoying your favorite drink while watching your favorite baseball team with your team's logo on your mug made from a baseball bat. They can even make customized mugs. Check out the mug they made for Turnpike Sports. I mean, just look at that. That looks awesome. I've never seen anything like them. If you go to dugoutmugs.com, you'll find out they even make more things than mugs. They have baseball board games, grilling equipment made from baseball bats. They even have a section for gifts for under $30. Head on over to dugoutmugs.com because if you're a baseball fan or need a gift for a baseball fan, you have to check out Dugout Mugs. And use our promo code PIKE at checkout to get 20% off your purchase price. That's promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. Also, free shipping with orders over $99. You can't beat that. Dugoutmugs.com. That's my go-to place if I need a gift for a baseball fan. Well, if you excuse me now, the game is about to go on, and the wind is just right for drinking.
Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024, the Audien Atom 2 series offers superior sound quality and functionality for a fraction of the price. For just $189 a pair, the Atom 2 features 4 different hearing modes for all types of hearing loss. It packs crystal clear sound, a nearly invisible design, and is even rechargeable.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids. They're so comfortable, I forget I'm wearing them. And the sound is amazing.
The Atom Pro 2 is our smallest hearing aid yet, featuring advanced background noise cancellation and is the world's first hearing aid with built-in UV cleaning that kills 99% of bacteria.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed without seeing a doctor or having a hearing test.
Join over 500,000 happy customers today and get the hearing you deserve.
Call 1-800-457-0924 or go to audienhearing.com to get your pair of Audien hearing aids starting at just $189.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here in our pick segment. This is week 1 of the NFL season. Like we do each and every week during the NFL season, we do 3 games each. We do point spreads and totals. I always want to say money line, but we don't do money lines.
Money line I save for my parlays.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Or my teasers. So,
every week I stumble over that because I want to say money line in there, and we just do point spreads and totals like we do every week, 3 games each. We keep track of our records, and like we did last year, we are going to be doing it each and every week, and we're going to be using
midweek lines,
early week lines. Sometimes we do Tuesday, sometimes we do Wednesday, depending on where we're at and where we're filming.
See, for filming schedule, I always try. I try and do it the latest as possible to get the latest lines.
Although you don't get some good lines when you don't do the early week. The early week sometimes gives you some really good lines, and you got to look at that.
Yeah.
And as always, bet responsibly when you do all these different things for the NFL games.
And by the way, I use really high-tech equipment when I make my predictions. See, this is my high-tech equipment, my Mead 5-subject notebook that I write everything down in. So, I'm really doing some really advanced logarithms and algorithms and things like that.
Just a recap from last year.
Oh, yeah, recap. I feel I did not do well.
You had a winning record.
Yeah,
it was the first time I've won the season.
And let me tell you something. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I always have a winning record. It's just it wasn't as good as years before, right?
So you went 33, 31, and 1. That's from week 1 all the way through the Super Bowl.
See, that's not good.
I ended up 39, 25, and 1.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. No, you had a streak there for a while that you were really tearing it up.
In the regular season, I won 35-19 was my record. You were 26, 27, and 1.
Wow. Okay.
Then I fell apart in the playoffs.
All right.
I went 4-5 and 1 in the playoffs.
I lost the regular season. Okay. Yes. So yeah. All right. Okay. So,
but
I want to do better now.
We're starting off 0-0-0.
I blame my Mead
5-subject
notebook on that one. So I'm going to try it again this year.
And here we are. We're going to be starting our picks for the week here, week 1 games. We're going to be using Caesar Sportsbook, early week lines here. You go to, and we got Caesar Sportsbook, but football is back, and Caesars is game ready with a great offer for new customers. That's their exact copy right there. I want to get that right.
Okay.
Register at Caesars.com/sportsbook-and-casino. That's the longest one over. Use promo code 20X. When you register and make your first deposit. When you place your first bet of $1 or more, you instantaneously, probably even right before you make your bet, will pop up. I don't know. Instantly get 100% profit boost up to $25 max per bet.
Okay.
Per boost.
All right.
That's the brand new offer. Terms and conditions apply. 21 only. Gambling problem. Call or text. That's a new one. Text.
Interesting.
800-GAMBLER.
Okay.
And we're going to start off right now with our week 1 picks. First game of the week for both of us.
Well, first game of the year.
Yeah, first game of the year. Transparency's sake, we do talk about what games we are choosing for the pick segment, just so we have an idea of production. More so that we don't tell each other the picks.
This is for
we
filming
just tell
purposes.
The games. This is
and by the way,
purposes.
it was 5 minutes ago I found out what games you had. So we have all our choices before we talk.
And again, we're using early week lines, and we lock them into place when we do the taping. Yep. First game of the year, first game of the week, first game of NFL Week 1. Tampa Bay Buccaneers favored by 2 points at the Atlanta Falcons. There's an over-under of 47 points even.
I have this game as well. So that's why we're starting off with it. So.
Now we've got head coach Todd Bowles is back. He brought back with him Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. They're all back together again. The offense is basically the same as it was last year. Mike Evans is going to go for his 12th straight 1,000-yard season. That's always a good prop bet. You always do the over with Mike Evans. I think he was at 950 yardage.
I mean, 1,000 is automatic for him.
Yes. So. On the other side of the ball, we've got Atlanta Falcons here. We've got Michael Penix Jr., who, by the way, I was very impressed with last year. He was really good command of the offense, really calm in the pocket. This is his second season starting for the Falcons here. The last time the Falcons played the Buccaneers, they scored a total of 31 points against the Buccaneers. Penix threw for 4 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with either offense here. The problem lies with the Falcons' defense. They had a lot of injuries in the preseason. They started piling up. I think both these offenses are going to be fine. Bucs defense, fine too. I think what you got here is a problem with the Atlanta Falcons defense, and I think that's going to be the difference here in Week 1. Not too much analysis because there's not much to talk about right now. I'm going with Tampa Bay and laying the 2.
Well, I'm taking Tampa Bay too, and for all those reasons you said, and there's one extra reason for me. I think the Buccaneers' offensive line is one of the best in the league, and I think they're going to allow Baker Mayfield to get the ball out of his hands with really good efficiency, and I think they're going to make holes for Bucky Irving. I think he's going to be running wild. And look, I looked at some of the models for some of this game, and a couple of the models had Tampa Bay winning by 5 points. Now, when I see them just favored by 2, yep, I'm all over that. So, again, I'm taking Tampa Bay Buccaneers just to win and cover and rejoice in Atlanta.
And give you a 1-0 start.
I hope so. Well, you're taking it too.
Yeah.
So
that's first game. Let's head on over to game number 2. Second game of the week for me, I've got the New York Giants traveling down 95 to Washington to play the Commanders. Commanders right now are favored by 6 points even. There's an over-under of 45.5. This is the first time these two teams are playing each other in Week 1 since 2011.
Really? Okay.
Commanders last year swept the season series. They did. Week 2, they met last year for the first time. That was Jaden Daniels' first official NFL win, which was kind of cool to see.
Yep.
And then they beat the Giants in Week 9. That was the end of a 3-game win streak for the Commanders as well. You got on the offensive side of the ball for the Giants, you've got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. As a matter of fact, I saw this morning Jameis Winston is now the 3rd-string quarterback. You have Jackson Dart as the backup. Yeah. By the way, not a bad pick for him.
I gotta tell you, a lot of Giants fans and a lot of people in the NFL media are thinking you're going to see Dart sooner than later. Yeah. So we shall see. Yes. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of good things about Dart. You know, being an Eagles fan, I don't want to hear good things about any Giants quarterback, but it looks like the team is his in the near future.
Well, the offense may be his. We don't know if Dayball and the GM are going to last the entire year, but we don't know.
That's a coach on the hot seat.
Yes.
Okay.
And a GM too.
Yeah.
And a GM too. But again, you mentioned the 3-0 preseason.
We haven't played a game yet, and that coach is on the hot seat.
Oh yeah. Well, they're talking about who's going to finish out the season.
Well, that's
longer.
A bet for some of these sports books. Yes. The first coach fired.
Yep.
Boy.
But here we have Giants come in 3-0 preseason record. I said this earlier in the show. I don't put any stock into preseason wins or losses. You don't know really anything going into this, especially with all the changes. You've got the Commanders coming back with just about everybody on offense that makes Jaden Daniels feel really comfortable. And, great. Giants fans have hope for a good season after seeing that preseason. Going into Washington week 1, I got to lean the Commanders' way. I'm going Washington and laying the 6.
All right, my next game is pretty intriguing. I had to do a double take looking at this. The Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are favored by 2.5 points.
I saw that.
And the over-under is 47. Yeah, I wanted to delve deeply into this matchup. I wanted to see why the Green Bay Packers were favored, given the year the Detroit Lions had last year. And I found out something interesting. Here's what I found out. Green Bay is really good in home openers. Check out these stats. I wrote them down here. Green Bay has won each of their last 12 home openers and have covered the spread in each of their last 6 home openers. Meanwhile, get this with the Lions. The Lions have lost their last 6 road openers against NFC North opponents. I'm going with the Packers because apparently I have history on my side. So, give me the Packers and I'm laying the points.
Well, you have history and also brand new coaching staff, if you think about it.
Yeah, I know Detroit lost a little bit, but, they're still a very, very talented team, and I expect them to be there at the end of the season in the playoffs. So, but, no, I was very surprised at the Packers, and I was that's what's interesting about doing this segment. You learn so much about, the trends and things like that. So, like I said, history's on my side, so I'm going with the Packers.
All right, let's head on over to the last game of the week. Final game for me this week is the Carolina Panthers at Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville currently is favored at 3.5 points. You've got an over-under of 47 for the game. Now, when I was looking at this game, everything I was hearing from all these different reports out there, this could be the most boring game on the schedule for opening day. But if you look at what's been going on, Carolina Panthers, 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two, they've won. Carolina finished 7-3 against the spread last year. In the last 10 games, they went 7-3 ATS. Jacksonville's coming in with a brand new head coach. You've got a lot of uncertainty around their offense, especially with Trevor Lawrence, who seems to have been regressing ever since that playoff win they had in 2022. Last season he threw for more interceptions than touchdowns, which is very uncharacteristic of him. And they're hoping this new coach can bring out the better Trevor Lawrence again. I don't see that. Both teams come in. Last season they were ranked 31 and 32 on defense in several different categories. I think you've got a good offense in Carolina with Bryce Young still developing. You've also got this new coach on the Jaguars side. I just don't know anything about that. I don't know why Jacksonville's favored by 3.5 here other than being home. I'm going to go with Carolina and go plus 3.5 here.
All right, my last game scares the hell out of me, given it's week 1, and you really don't know how these teams are going to approach each other. But I'm going to do it. Tennessee Titans at Denver Broncos. The Broncos are 8.5-point favorites, and the over/under is 42.5. I usually stay away from games like this, but Denver is just so good. Tennessee is just so bad. I mean, the Broncos are coming off a 10-win season. I think they're better this year. But you know what? I got to defend myself. So here I go. Here are my stats that I looked at. Tennessee has lost 16 of their last 17 Sunday road games and have failed to cover the spread in 15 of their last 16 Sunday games. I mean, if that's not enough, I don't know what is. But let's look at Denver. Denver has covered the spread in each of their last 9 games as favorites. So I usually don't take teams who are favored by this much in week 1, but just Denver is just so good, and I expect them to be one of the better teams in the league. So fingers crossed, I'm taking the Denver Broncos and laying the 8.5 points, which is very unlike me.
Well, those are our 3 picks for the NFL Week 1 here. We'll be right back to recap and close out the show.
Sign up at jackpot.com and you can bet on the world's best lotteries where the biggest jackpots are up for grabs. Powerball, Mega Millions, some of the biggest lotteries can be found at jackpot.com. Simply choose your lotto game, pick your numbers, or use their quick pick feature, and you're done. Sign up at jackpot.com with code DRAW24 and get a free lottery ticket with your first deposit. Jackpot.com, it's the world of lotto in your hand.
Terms and conditions apply. You must be at least 18 years old and in the United States to play. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We just finished doing our Week 1 NFL picks, 3 games each. We used early week lines. I want everyone to remember that the lines do change as we go along. Keep looking at the lines.
Keep looking at the lines.
Also bet responsibly, too.
Absolutely.
And we use Caesar Sportsbook, caesars.com/sportsbook-n-casino. Use the code PIKE20X, and when you place your first bet of $1, you will be getting 100% profit boost up to $25 max per bet.
Wow.
In addition to your initial bet of $1 or more.
See, that's cool.
21 and older,
like
terms
that.
and conditions, problem gambling, 800-GAMBLER, have to put in the responsible gambling, especially since we're in responsible gambling month.
Absolutely. September is responsible gambling month,
Yes.
so bet with your head, not with your heart.
There
How's
you
that?
go.
So.
And let's recap for everybody. Go ahead and do your picks.
All right, I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and laying the 2 points against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers to beat the Detroit Lions. I'm laying the 2.5 points with Green Bay. And this one I'm nervous about, but I'm taking the Denver Broncos, and I'm laying the 8.5 points against the Tennessee Titans.
3 favorites.
Yeah. So,
well,
but,
week 1, kind of you got to lean that way.
That Detroit Lion game, Green Bay Packer, I was a little surprised that the Packers were 2.5 favorites.
Over here, I did Tampa Bay and laid the 2. I went with the Washington Commanders laying the 6. And my underdog of the week here is the Carolina Panthers, plus 3.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again,
see,
we use the early week line, so keep checking everything. Make sure you check those before you make your bets.
Absolutely.
Feel free to comment on our picks.
Yeah, I went a little chalky this
this
week, this week 1. Hey, it's week 1.
Yeah,
I want to be, careful.
Yeah.
But, who knows?
Feel free to comment on the picks. info@turnpikesportsradio.com or go on the blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. You'll see these picks there, so you feel free to comment there as well. That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. We'll be back next week and each and every week through the Super Bowl.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.